I'm going to be reading out pressure. 5.
60.
15. 30.
Steven, can you read out your pressure? Samuel will stop reading out pressure.
Steven, I'm reading about 65 PSI right now. What about you?
Please repeat.
I'm reading about almost 70 PSI. How about you?
About 85. Should be 95.
Repeat that.
95. I'm backing it off a little bit here. We're seeing about 110.
It's fine, Steven.
We're reading 96.
I'm reading 105.
All right, we're good. We're good. We're within our plus or minus 10 PSI tolerance. And outlet pressure has stabilized. Are you seeing any variation, Steven?
No, no variation now.
All right, so now that we have completed step 140, red team air compressor wait for outlet pressure to stabilize. We have completed that step. We are moving on to step 150. Red team R4, regulate outlet pressure to 60 plus or minus 5 psi. And I want to remind again to be clear of the torch pistons when you do this.
R4 is reading 60 psi.
So red team, you have completed step 150. Step 160, red team R4 has pressure stabilized.
Yes.
All right, moving on to step 170, red team standby. All right, we are moving into step 170. GC, PB1 and PB5. Open, then close valves.
I'm gonna arm the system, then I'm gonna wait for confirmation on both turning on and turning off the valves. Arming. Please confirm. System is armed. Turning on PB1 and 5. I'm waiting on confirmation from red team. Turning off. PB1, PB5 closed.
Step 190, GC, PB2. Open, then close valve.
Actuating PB2. PB2 open. Closing PB2. PB2 closed.
Step 210, GC, PB3. Close, then open valve.
Closing PB3. PB3 closed. Opening PB3. PB3 open.
Step 230, GC, PB4. Open, then close valve.
Opening PB4. Okay. PB4 open. Closing PB4. PB4 closed.
Step 250, GC, PB6. Open, then close valve.
Opening PB6. PB6 opened. Closing PB6. PB6 closed.
Step 270, GC, PB7. Close, then open valve.
Closing PB7. PB7 closed. Opening PB7. PB7 open.
Step 290, GC, PB8. Open, then close valve.
Opening PB8. PB8 open. Closing PB8. PB8 closed.
Step 310, GC, PB9. Open, then close valve.
Opening PB9. PB9 open. Closing PB9. PB9 closed.
GC, S1 and S2. Open, then close valve.
Opening solenoids. Solenoids open. Closing solenoids. Solenoids closed.
Step 350, GC, S3. Open, then close valve.
Opening S3. S3 open. Closing. S3 closed.
Stand by, red team. All right, red team. What we're going to do is we are going to keep venting S3 until we hear the air compressor turn on. Once we hear the air compressor turn on, we will close S3 and wait for our muscle bus to return to 100, roughly 100 psi.
S3 is open.
Steven, can you go over to the air compressor to make sure it's on?
S3 closed.
Air compressor is on. I think we might have tripped this. I'm gonna turn it off and then back on again.
What pressure are you reading?
I'm reading about 80.
Can you try turning it on and off again?
Will do. Nothing.
We're gonna have, just for awareness, we're gonna have Samuel Vitt S3 a little bit more.
S3 open.
I will note any changes on the air compressor side.
Alright, stop S3.
S3 closed.
Reading about 75.
We were around that mark too.
Should we try? Keep venting S3. We're not seeing much of a change on the source for the air compressor. It's still sitting at 140, so I think we might not have just drained it enough to actually start it kicking on yet.
Alright, we're going to start venting S3.
Venting. S3 open.
What is your outlet pressure that you're seeing on the air compressor?
70. Source pressure has not moved at all.
Can you reg it up a little bit, the air compressor?
We'll rag it up. Source pressure is dropping.
Now we're going, we see muscle bus pressure increasing.
S3 closed. Steven, what are you reading?
Outlet pressure is 85.
Reg it up to, 1 second, reg it up to 105 plus or minus 10 PSI.
Reading about 100.
We are good to go back. Are you good to go, Samuel? Alright, Samuel is good to go. Red team, you good to go? Alright, we are going to step 370 on op 20, so same op, step 370. GC, oh yeah, and before we move on to this step, be clear of the torch pistons, as the torch pistons will move during this step. Step 370, GC, torch solenoid, energize.
Actuating the torch solenoid.
Step 380, GC, torch solenoid, de-energize.
Turning off torch solenoid.
Step 390, red team, torch solenoid, verify actuation.
Torch solenoid actuated perfectly.
Step 400, GC, test stand, torch, so the item is torch solenoid, PB4, PB8. We are going to run a test auto sequence and verify proper behavior. There's no pressure in the system, so nothing will flow.
Running auto sequence in 3, 2, 1. Wait for visual confirmation on locks and fuel, the lights on the side of the stand. Good sequence.
Alright, we are moving into op 30, fuel side leak check, full nitrogen purge. We are leak checking the system between PB5, PB6, R3, B3, B4, and PB8. We will also purge the system with nitrogen before propellant load, ending with a purge through the dedicated engine purge lines. PPE required is a face shield, ear protection, gloves, and apron. Step 10, Keycon, op.
Red team is go.
Alright, step 30, red team, PB1 and PB5, verify closed.
PB1, PB5, verify closed.
Red team, PB6, verify closed.
PB6, closed.
Red team, PB7, verify opened.
PB7, open.
Red team, PB8, verify closed.
PB8, closed.
GC, PB7, close valve.
Closing PB7. PB7, closed.
Red team, fuel side into supply. Slowly open all fuel side nitrogen supply bottle needle valves fully, then back off quarter turn.
Opening.
Lines, spray soapy water and wait for 3 minutes to watch and listen for leaks. Can you please watch the gauge, the downstream, the upstream gauge on the regulator, and we will watch the PT.
Copy. No noticeable leaks on our side.
All right, we are not going to wait for 3 minutes. I'm going to change that op to just 1 minute. Stand by. All right, step 100, GC, PB1 and PB5, open valves.
Opening PB1 and PB5. PB1, PB5, open.
Step 110, red team, R2, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 PSI.
Alright, we're reading data. 40, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, slow down, 85, 90, 95, 100, you're good.
Yeah, I'm reading a little bit under 100 here. Alright, that is good. We are going to move to step 120, GC, PB1 and PB5, closed valves.
Closing PB1 and PB5.
PB1 and PB5 are closed. Step 130, red team, R2, back off to 0 PSI. R2, backed off to 0 PSI. Confirm when the regulator has been backed off. R2, backed off to 0 PSI. Alright, step 140, TCON GC, PT13, PT14, monitor for 5 minutes, ensure pressure doesn't drop after stabilizing.
Red team's proceeding with soapy water check.
Repeat that.
We're going to do a leak check on our side with soapy water too.
Alright, that will work.
We're seeing a small but steady leak at the top of the fuel tank.
Stand by. Alright, we are not reading a significant change at all in PT13 fuel tank upstream. Therefore, we think it is manageable. Red team, confirm when you are done doing your leak checks.
Red team is clear to proceed.
Right. Alright, red team, step 160, move at least 20 feet behind engine.
Red team is clear of the test stand.
Alright, so we're moving into step 170, which is venting. Once I finish talking on the radio, I'm gonna call out venting, and then the GC is gonna open PB7 and leave it open until PT13 reads 0 PSI.
Venting in 3, 2, 1. Closing.
Alright, step 190, repeat op 30, 90 through 170 after tightening any fittings that fail, leak check with wrenches if any fail. You guys saw a leak, we did it, so we're going to move forward as it seems to be a pretty negligible leak. Stand by. Red team, step 200, R2. Slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 psi.
Alright, we're reading. Slow down, 50. $60. 75. 85. 90. 95. 100, you're good. R2 open to 100 psi.
Red team, R3, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 psi.
I'm still not reading any data. Still nothing. Oh, there we go. 15. 25. 30. 40. 60. 70. 75. 80. 85.
R3 is fully opened.
90.
Repeat that, Jack. R3 is fully open.
Value. 95.
R3 is fully open.
Alright, I'm reading out. Just wait until I say 100 and then you need to close.
Please repeat.
Oops, sorry.
Negate that.
100.
TCON, Op 30, verify all steps in Op 30 have been completed. They have been completed. Step 20, red team, PPE, don all PPE listed for Op 40.
Red team is go.
Step 30, red team, test stand, PB1 and PB5, verify closed.
PB1 and PB5 are closed.
Step 40, PB2, verify closed.
PB2 is closed.
Step 50, red team, PB3, verify opened.
PB3 is open.
Step 60, PB4, verify closed.
PB4 is closed.
Step 70, red team, PB9, verify closed.
PB9 is closed.
Step 80, red team, PB10, verify closed.
PB10 closed.
Step 90, GC, PB3, closed valve.
Closing PB3. PB3 is closed.
Step 100, red team, test stand, lock side into supply. Slowly open all lock side nitrogen supply bottle needle valves fully, then back off quarter turn.
Opening bottles. First bottle open and back off. Opening second bottle. Both bottles open and backed off a quarter turn.
All right, red team, we are going to move into step 110, which is a brand new step, not added to your ops that you see. Fuel lock side into supply, leak check 6K PSIG in 2 lines, spray soapy water, and wait for 1 minute to watch and listen for leaks. We'll watch, please watch the gauge and we'll watch the PT. Also, remember to stay hydrated and drink water.
No noticeable leaks.
You said you are looking for a leak, Steven?
No noticeable leaks.
All right, we see no noticeable leaks from the PT as well, so we are good to advance to step 120. It will be a different step for you because it's not on your ops, but 120 for me. GC, PB1 and PB5, open valve.
Opening PB1 and PB5. PB1 and PB5 are open.
Red team, test stand, R1. Slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 PSI.
$55, $60, $70, slow down. $85. $95, $100, you're good.
Step 140, GC, PB1 and PB5, close valve.
Closing PB1 and PB5. PB1 and PB5 closed.
Red team, R1, back off to 0 PSI.
R1 backed off.
Step 160, TCON GC, PT3 and PT4, monitor for 5 minutes, ensure pressure doesn't drop after stabilizing. Red team, listen for any potential leaks. Do not spray with soapy water. We see no noticeable leaks from our pressure transducer readings.
We're hearing something, but we're not sure if it's coming from the test stand, so I think we're clear to proceed.
Step 180, red team, move at least 20 feet behind engine.
Red team is clear of the test stand.
Venting.
Step 190, GC, PV3, open valve and leave open until PT3 reads 0 PSI.
Venting in 3, 2, 1.
GC, PV3, close valve. Alright, step 210, repeat op 40, 110 through 190 after tightening any fittings that fail leak check with wrenches, if any fail. We are going to move past that because none failed. Step 220, repeat op 40, 110 through 190, skipping step 150 through 160 an additional 2 times to fully purge system. Alright, red team, we are going to start on, I listed the incorrect step. We're going to start on step 120, as we have already leak checked the 6K PSI GN2 lines. So step 120, it's going to be, I think, called step 110 for you. But GC, control room, PV1 and PV5, open valve.
Opening PB1, PB5.
PB1 and PB5 open. Red team, R1, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 PSI. We're looking at 55 PSI.
Yeah, you're good.
GC, PV1 and PV5, close valve.
Closing PB1 and PB5.
PV1 and PV5 close. Red team, R1, back off to 0 PSI.
R1 backed off.
Alright, we are skipping steps 160, 170. Red team, move at least 20 feet behind engine.
Red team is clear of the test stand.
Step 190, GC, PV3, open valve and leave open until PT3 reads 0 PSI.
Opening PB3.
Step 200 GC PB3 close valve.
Closing.
Alright, we are going to repeat that one more time. So, returning to step 120, GC, control room, PB1, PB5, open valve.
Opening PB1 and PB5.
PB1, PB5, open. Red team, R1, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 plus or minus 10 PSI.
$50, $70, $80, $85, $95, $100, you're good.
Step 140, GC, PB1, PB5, close valve.
Closing PB1, PB5.
PB1 and PB5 closed. Step 150, red team, R1, back off to 0 PSI. R1 backed off. Alright, red team, move at least 20 feet behind engine. Red team, safe distance away. Step 190, GC, PB3, open valve and leave open until PT3 reads 0 PSI. Vent.
Opening PB3.
Alright, GC, PB3, close valve.
Closing.
Red team, approach the test stand. R1, fully back off to 0 PSI. R1 is backed off. Off 50. Fuel side load with water. The description is load fuel side tank with water. None PPE is required. Stand by.
Creating a new deck log file. Previous one at 52 minutes and 30 seconds. New deck log file is D29E.
I'm coming to T-Con to grab a couple bottles of water for me and Jack.
Take a minute to drink water if you need to. Not the distilled water, the bottled water.
Aw.
Day ruined.
Let me know when you are good to proceed. Alright, step 10, TCON, Op 40, verify all steps in Op 40 have been completed. They've been completed. Step 20, red team, PB8, verify closed.
PB8 closed.
Red team, B3, verify closed.
B3 closed.
Red team, PB7, open valve.
PB7 is closed. I don't think you can open PB7. I'm gonna do that for you though. Opening PB7.
PB7 opened.
Step 50, red team, B4, open valve.
B4 opened.
Step 60, red team, B4 funnel, slowly pour 4 gallons of water. Actually, that should be 7 gallons of water into B4 funnel.
First gallon is going in. Would you like us to wait in between gallons so you can make sure the load cell is giving good data, or do you want us to just push right through?
Yes, pause between each gallon.
Travis, exactly what we did with the log tank. Same thing.
First gallon is in.
Is the entire gallon in?
Repeat.
Is the entire gallon of water inside the tank?
Yes. Are we ready to proceed with gallon 2?
Yes, we are ready to proceed.
Gallon 2 is coming in. Gallon 2 is in. The entire gallon is in.
We're reading 15 pounds. You can proceed to third gallon.
Third gallon is going in. Third gallon is in. The entire gallon is in.
Proceed with gallon 4.
Gallon 4 going in.
Just as a heads up, fill rate has significantly slowed. We're keeping an eye on that.
Is that the entire fourth gallon inside the tank or not yet?
Not yet.
Fourth gallon is in the funnel. We're waiting for it to empty. Funnel is now empty. The entire fourth gallon should be in.
Yeah, you can proceed with the fifth gallon.
Fifth gallon is in. The full gallon is in.
Alright, give me a second. Can you get like a little bit away from the tank? It's fluctuating too much. Alright, ready to proceed with gallon number 6.
Gallon 6 is in. The full gallon is in.
One second. Alright, gallon number 7.
Proceeding with gallon 7.
Great. Did you guys complete loading the 7th gallon?
7th gallon is in. The full gallon and nothing but the gallon is in.
Alright, step 70, red team B4, close valve.
B4 is closed.
Red team B4 funnel, remove funnel from system.
Funnel is removed.
Step 90, GC, PB7, close valve.
Closing PB7. PB7 closed.
Alright, stand by. I'm going to review Op 60 to make sure we're in a good state. At the end of it, we already did Op 60 LOX load. Alright, I'm going to have you check a couple of valves. So on Op 60, so Op titles, LOX load water, load cryo side tank with water. We've already did that. No PPE is required. Step 20, B1, verify closed.
B1 is closed.
Red team, PB4, verify closed.
PB4 closed.
Red team, PB9, verify closed.
PB9 is closed.
Red team, PB10, verify closed.
PB10 is closed.
And then all the plumbing is we've already checked is correctly installed on the LOX tank. Alright, we are moving into Op 70. Alright, Alright, Op title, pressurization preparation. We are pressurizing fuel and LOX tanks. Stand by. Creating a new log for the deck file.
Fuel load is D29E, 222 megabits, 14 minutes and 30 seconds. New SD log file is 882D.
Alright, step 10, Op 60, verify all steps in Op 60 have been completed. They've been completed. Step 20, red team, PPE, dot all PPE listed for Op 70. That is face shield, ear protection, leather gloves, apron.
Red team is go.
Red team, R2, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 635 PSI.
$100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600. Slow down. We're at 590. Too slow, a little bit higher. 610. 625. 630. Alright, 635, you're good.
Step 40, Red team, R3, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 100 psi.
40, 50. 60. 70. 75. 80. 85, 90. 95. 100, you're good.
Step 50, red team, R1. Red team, R1, slowly regulate outlet pressure to 680 psi.
100. 150. 200. 250. 300. 350. 400. 450. 500. 550. 600. 635, stop. Sorry, 680, yeah, 660. 670. 680, you're good.
Stand by, red team. All right, we're gonna have you back it up. We're gonna have you back off R1 to 680 psi. Be very slow with it.
You're starting off at 760. 720. 700.
All right, slow down. This is good. This is good. All right, step 60, red team, PR. PR equipment has been set up. All right, Caleb confirmed that. Red team, test and torch solenoids. Confirmed torch solenoid is closed. It is closed because it's retracted. Confirmed. Red team, all personnel retreat to control room. Alright, we are having red team go out to the test stand to reg down PT, or R2.
Red team ready to reg down R2.
Yes, we're ready.
What's our target pressure?
635 PSI. Do this very slowly.
$750. $760. $725. $700. $670. $650. $640. You're fine, you can stop.
Alright, red team, retreat to the control room. GC, for those of you, the spotters, we are pressurizing our fuel tank now. 100. GC, PB6, open valve.
Opening PB6.
Alright, GC, close, PB6.
PB6.
GC, close, open PB7.
Opening PB7.
Close the vent.
Closing the vent valve.
Red team, approach the stand.
Red team is clear to proceed.
Stand by. Alright, we need to reg to 635 PSI. This is regging R2.
$580. 600. 615. 630. You can stop now.
Alright, red team, what we're doing is we're looking at drift. We're looking at 656 PSI.
That's about what we're seeing.
We think what we're going to do is let it drift until the pressure stabilizes, and then and then go from there.
We're seeing it slowly but steadily rise as well on this side. Seeing a little above 650.
Say that again?
We're seeing above 650 by a little. Seeing just under 700.
Yep, that's what we're seeing. All right, red team, retreat to the test stand. We are moving forward with pressurizing our LOX tank. Stand by. GC step 120, verify PB3 is closed.
PB3 closed.
Step 130, GC, verify PB4 is closed.
PB4 closed.
Pressurizing LOX tank. Step 150, GC, PB2, open valve.
Opening PB2.
GC, close PB2.
Closing PB2.
GC, open PB3. Loud venting. Loud venting.
Opening PB3.
Red team, we're going to have you approach the stand now, and yeah, so let me know when you're there.
Red team is ready.
All right, so what we're going to do is have you very slowly, because it's recovering pressure, reg it to 680 PSI R1.
Alright, gonna start the reg very slowly.
Stop.
We just saw it jump a little bit.
Say that again.
We saw it jump. We barely touched the reg and we saw like the dial like jump a little.
We see it drifting upward now, a little bit.
Slowly, yes. A little above 650 right now. We're seeing it pretty steady over here.
All right. Stand by. We think we have a plan. Alright, Red Team, we are going to have you reg the LOX reg up to 810 PSI.
Alright, regging up.
690. 700. You can go a little faster, if you can.
Yeah, just keeping it slow because the needle is lagging behind a lot. It's barely moving.
Okay. 710. 720. Yeah. 760.
The dial over here is not really moving smooth. It's kind of jittery, so.
780. 790. 800. Slow down. Slow down.
Touching the reg anymore. This is the reg moving on its own.
Alright, stop it. Stop it. 810. Stop.
Is it pretty stable over where you guys are?
You can move back over where we are. Red Team, we're going to have you go back out to the test stand and reg LOX regulator, which is R1, down to 810 PSI.
Alright, regging down.
850. 840, 830. It flattened out again. You have to stop at 810. Currently at 835. 830. 828. 820. Alright, stop here. You're good.
Alright, you all can return to the control room. Pressurizing fuel tank, GC PB6, open valve.
Opening PB6.
Step 120, GC PB3, verify closed.
Closing PB3.
I didn't hear anything, but...
GC PB4, verify closed.
PB4 closed.
Pressurizing LOX tank, GC PB2, open valve.
Opening PB2.
Step 170, GC PB1, PB5, open valves.
Opening PB1 and PB5.
GC S3, open valve until air compressor kicks on. Actually, we're going to scrap this step because muscle bus pressure is fine where it is. It's at 86.7 psi, so we're not going to do this step if we don't need to. Alright, We're actually going to reverse that. Step 180, GC, S3, open valve until air compressor kicks on.
Actuating S3, closing when air compressor kicks in.
Waiting for muscle bus pressure to return to above 90 psi, roughly 100 psi. All right, we are proceeding into Op 80, test fire and tank depress. Actually, the tank does not depress on this op. Op description, test fire engine with torch sequence. Step 10, TCON, Op 70, verify all steps in Op 70 have been completed. They have been completed. TCON, control room, brief all participants on engine hot fire sequence.
Taylor, can you do this briefing over the walkie-talkies as well, so the spotters can hear it as well?
Yep. All right. So here's a brief on the engine hot fire sequence. When we start the sequence, the igniter retraction platform raises and stays there for 10 seconds. At 10 seconds, the LOX line flows. At 0.15 seconds, an imaginary event happens called the fuel flow. At a half a second after that, the igniter retraction platform will lower, and then the LOX stops flowing at 4 seconds. So that's what we're expecting. Once we're done flowing, the tanks are still pressed. We just close the main valves. So we will then move into our next stop once we're done with that. All right. So before we get into the hot fire sequence, we are wanting to test our LOX chill, which is PB9. So step 20, GC, PB9, LOX chill. We want to open valve for 5 seconds, then close valve.
Pulsing PB9 for 5 seconds. New DAC log file created, ID C666.
Alright, GC, control room, igniter, plus PB4, plus PB8, activate hot fire sequence.
Arming hot fire sequence. Sequencer armed. Running ignition sequence in 10. Pause. Running ignition sequence in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sequence.
Alright, step 50. TCON, wait for all system to cease. System activity to cease, then wait 120 seconds to proceed top 90. We'll wait until 124. Alright, so we're going to create a new DAC data file, LOX water flow 2.
Creating a new DAC log file. ID 5282, water flow to LOX.
Alright, Justin is going to let us know when the high speed is good for the second attempt. We are then going to reflow fuel, followed by 2 flows of LOX, followed by 2 integrated LOX fuel tests. Stand by for Justin's call. Hey Brady, this is Cameron. Just wanted to thank you for your service out there.
Doing my duty. Proud to serve.
We're on the, if you're wondering, we're on the tail end of our testing, so the only thing that will delay it is downloading the footage from the high speed. All right, good news, spotters. Mr. Brady, we're rotating the spotters, so stay in your position until a new spotter gets there. Once that spotter gets there, verify that the spotter is there, and then come back.
The tank is still pressed, so take a wide berth around the front of the stand. Switch confirmed.
Alright, so for everybody's awareness, we are going to vent the tanks. It will be very loud. So just be aware of that. Alright, GC, close, PB1 and PB5.
Closing PB1 and PB5.
GC, close, PB2.
Closing PB2.
GC, close, PB6.
Closing PB6.
Loud venting. GC, open, PB3.
Opening PB3.
GC, open, PB7. Loud venting. Loud venting.
PB7.
Alright, PR red team, approach the test stand.
The footage might not be gone.
The name is Water Flow Locks.
Repeat.
Water 1 Locks.
Water 1 locks, correct?
Correct.
I'm trying to manually does not exist. I'm trying to solve that right now.
What's the situation?
I think we have the footage. It's still in the flash memory, but I think it's with the SD card or something like that, trying to save the footage to it.
I wonder if it...
What?
Just to update everyone, we are changing out the SD card in the high speed. What is the issue?
It can't read any other SD card, and the one SD card it does, it says save folder doesn't exist. I'm going to format this SD card, put it back in there, and then see if it can... It's saying that basically there is no file to save it to in the SD card. I think the SD card messed up or something, I'm not sure. I think formatting it, though, might fix it.
Just for everybody's awareness, we are troubleshooting some slow-mo cam footage issues. We think we've got a path forward, but we just got to get through that, and then we'll move forward. We'll keep you updated. Red team, could one of you all go out to the air compressor and reg the air compressor up a little bit? Let us know what it's reading on the gauge. We are at 90 PSI, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 90, 98, 99, keep on bumping it just a little bit. Say that again, Travis.
What
What are you reading?
Reading right at, looks like 110 right now on the tool.
Alright, you're good to come back. You're good to come back. Alright, we're going to move forward and press the tanks, and then we're going to do kind of a continuous sequence going through all of the sequences that we want to see with the high-speed capturing footage. So we are now going to move into pressurizing tank. We are pressurizing fuel tank. Step 100 of op 70. GC, PB6, open valve.
Opening PB6.
Close it. Close PB7.
Closing PB7.
Close PB3.
Closing PB3. Creating a new water flow to logs file called 7407.csv. Actually, the name of this file will be combined logs fuel integrated test that will loop back, so there's going to be a total of 6 runs. So the water flow test that we're gonna do, we're gonna run a LOX only test, a fuel only test, and then an integrated test with the torch extension retraction mechanism going off. Then we'll loop back that, so we're gonna have a total of 6 tests.
To confirm again, GC, PB7 and PB3 is closed. Alright, so confirming the state of the system, PB7 is closed.
Confirm PB7 closed.
PB3 closed.
Confirm.
PB1 and PB5, 1 second. PB1, PB5 are closed.
Confirm.
PB2, PB6 are closed.
Confirm.
Pressurizing fuel tank, step 100, GC, PB6, open valve.
Opening PB6.
Alright, step 120, GC, verify PB3 is closed.
PB3 closed.
Step 130, GC, verify PB4 is closed.
PB4 closed.
We are pressurizing LOX tank, step 150, GC, PB2, open valve.
Opening PB2.
Alright, we are moving to step 170, GC, PB1, PB5, open valves.
Opening PB1 and PB5.
Alright, step 180, GC, we're going to open S3 until the air compressor kicks on.
Opening S3.
All right, we are moving into op 80. All right, so we are going to move past step 10, 20, and 30 as we do not need to open the LOX chill valves, and we are going to go straight to the activate hot fire sequence. Step 40 GC, igniter, PB4, PB8, activate hot fire sequence. 1 second.
Ignition sequence in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. All right, step 50, TCON, wait for all system activity to cease, then wait 120 seconds to proceed to op 90. We're going to immediately proceed to op 90. All right, op 90 is op 90, system safe. Safing system after pressurized operations are complete. The PPE required for red team do not go out yet is face shield, leather gloves, ear protection, and apron. Step 10, TCON, op 70. Verify all steps in op 80 have been completed. Op 80 has been completed. Step 20, GC, control room. PB1, PB5, close valve. Closing PB1, PB5.
Step 30, GC, PB2, close valve.
Closing PB2.
Step 40, GC, PB6, close valve.
Closing PB6.
Step 50, GC, PB3, open valve until PT3 and PT4 read 0 PSI.
Opening PB3.
All right, step 60, GC, PB3, close valve.
Closing PB3.
Step 70, GC, PB7, open valve until PT13 and PT14 read 0 PSI, loud venting. Step 80 GC PB7 close valve.
Closing.
Step 90 GC S1 and S2 open valve for 5 seconds, then close valve.
Pulsing for 5 seconds.
Pulse another time.
Pulsing again. Pulsing one more time.
Pulse a 4th time.
Pulsing a 4th time.
Alright, red team, return to test stand. Red team ready.
Steven, when would you like the logs done being simulated?
Please repeat.
When would you like the log stump being simulated?
We could do it.
We're going to worry about lock stump later. Step 110. Red team, lock side into supply, close all lock side into supply bottle needle valves.
Closing. Both bottles closed.
Alright, with the lock stump, we close the N2 valves. What we can do is, obviously this isn't going to be like super clean, but if we open the lock stump, this is a later step, if we open the lock stump, it will drain up to that where that hole is on for the lock stump, and then we can just remove the JIC somewhat carefully to make sure that we don't pour water on any electronics components. If it pours on the bottom of the test stand, that's not a problem. Please repeat. So, lock stump. There's currently fuel, or there's currently water in both the LOX tank and the fuel tank. What we can do to take that water out is dump the water. The fuel tank already has a valve for this, but on the lock stump, use the lock stump to dump the water up until that hole. And then that remaining water that's in the lower portion of the tank, we can just take the JIC off, make sure there's no electronic equipment nearby, and just pour the water on the floor of the test stand.
Understood.
Alright, so can you confirm step 110, lock side N2 supply has been closed?
Affirm.
Step 120, red team, fuel side N2 supply, close all fuel side nitrogen supply bottle needle valves. Fuel side needle valves closed. All personnel retreat to control room. Just a warning, this next step is a loud venting step. So, loud. Step 140, GC. 1 second. Alright, step 140, GC, PB2, open valve and wait until PT1 and PT2 read 0 PSI. Loud venting.
Opening PB2.
Alright, so step 140 technically isn't complete. We're still seeing kind of the residual pressure venting. We're going to move on to step 150 though, GC, PV6, open valve and wait until PT11 and PT12 read 0 PSI. This could be a loud venting moment, but we don't know.
Opening PB6.
Alright, GC, we are adding a step. We're going to open PB1 and PB5.
Opening PB1, PB5.
Yeah, let's open PB3 and PB7. Alright, this is sort of an actuation check at the end, making sure just covering our bases in terms of pressure. Step 160, GC, PB1, PB5, open then close valves. PB2, open then close valve. PB3, close then open valve. PB4, open then close valve.
Opening and closing PB4.
PB6, open then close valve.
Closing PB6.
PB7, close then open valve.
Closing opening PB7.
PB8, open then close valve.
PB8 open and close.
PB9, open then close valve.
Opening and closing PB9.
S1 and S2, open until PT32 reads 0.
Alright, opening port solenoids.
You can close S1, S2 now.
Closing.
Red team, return to test stand. Let us know when you're ready.
Red team in position.
Alright, one thing we're going to have you do is recheck the nitrogen bottles, so make sure both LOX and fuel nitrogen bottles are closed. Fuel side, confirm closed. Red team, R1, back off reg to 0 PSI.
We're still checking lock side. Lock side bottles closed.
You backed off reg 1 to 0 PSI.
Backing off now. R1 backed off.
Back off R2 to 0 PSI.
R2 backed off to 0 PSI.
Back off R3 to 0 PSI.
R3 backed off.
Red team, R4, back off reg to 0 PSI, stay clear of the pistons.
R4 backed off to 0 PSI.
Alright, B1, let's open and close valve.
B1 open then closed.
Let's go to B2, open then close valve.
B2 open then closed.
Alright, we are at step 320, which is PB10. We need to open that valve then close. That will mean draining the LOX tank.
PB10 does not currently have pneumatic lines to it. Do you want us to move them off of the torch and then move it over to PB10?
Yes, that's correct. Move them off of the torch.
Disconnecting torch now. PB10 connected.
PB10 is also not connected via DC channel right now. It's only plugged the solenoid, so I would need to move one of these solenoids from, say, PB9 to PB10 if we wanted to actuate it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we thought of doing, right? The thing, yeah, so we're gonna disconnect the chill line, and you're gonna connect the adapter to PB10, which is the log stump. The channel will remain the same, and that's motor channel 2.
Correct.
Alright, do that.
Connection is good.
Alright, you rewired it?
Correct.
Alright, GC. Open PB10 and red team, tell us when flow essentially stops.
Opening PB10. Please confirm.
PB10's open. Not seeing any flow yet.
Oh, so GC needs to open PB7 to get flow.
Opening PB7.
PB7's open.
Close PB7, open PB3.
Close PB7, open PB3.
Opening PB3.
PB3 is closed.
Opening PB3.
PB3 open.
Okay, we actually don't, we think we don't have enough water in the LOX tank to be able to flow through the LOX drain right now, because we're only seeing 19-ish pounds on it. So, yeah, we're going to confirm that this step has been closed. We're going to quickly check the state of the system. All right, so how we're going to dump the water after we complete step 330 and 340. So red team, air compressor, lower outlet reg to 0 psi.
Compressor is fully backed off.
All right, GC, open S3 and vent all muscle pressure.
Opening S3, venting muscle pressure.
Compressor is steadily decreasing.
All right, what we're going to do as pressure is decreasing is we can drain both the fuel and LOX tank. So fuel, we're going to use B3. Martin is going to get a flexible hose right now that we can direct all the water from. For the LOX tank, we need to essentially clear the area of electronics and unscrew one of the JICs to drain all of the water in the LOX tank. Hey, we're going to pause real quick. We are waiting for muscle pressure to go down to formally e-stop the system and shut it down. Once muscle pressure is gone, we will then e-stop.
What's the reading on muscle pressure?
We are reading 23.2 psi.
Copy.
All right, we are going to, muscle bus pressure is 0.3 psi. We're going to e-stop the system now and safe it. So let us know if you see anything.
E-stopping in 3, 2, 1.
All good. All right, spotters, you can return to the tents. Still stay outside of the test stand area. Everyone needs to stay in the tents.